the doxing of teenagers in the name of justice is condoned, and the worst caste system in human history includes the United States alongside Nazi Germany.
Nobody was injured. Nobody was killed from the Israeli side. It was all Palestinian death and injuries. But
I've never seen him that mad before. I didn't even know about this clip. I was just looking up old clips of Bari Weiss, and then this comes along.
Like, the built-in assumption that Bari Weiss has here is that, oh, well, obviously Israeli forces had to murder these people. The New York Times opinion editor.
Wow, it's like we went through a time machine. He went from being a fucking raver, like someone who's just like thrashed on Molly in that last clip, just full on all day, all night, fucking, you know, oh man, bang his mash all night, he's fucking going off, he's popping off, son, to a father. Like now he's a dad. Now he's a straight up daddy. Now he's David Daddy, David Dole Daddy. That's what happened. So now this is he's older. He's more mature. He's grown up, you know? Yeah, he turned into Destiny. David Dole. That's awesome. He's Nebraska Steve. Yes, he is Nebraska Steve. I love it.
New York Times. I was hired with the goal of bringing in voices that would not otherwise appear in...
Hold up. You know what this requires? Copy.
in your pages. First-time writers, centrists, conservatives. Wait, let me just stop there.
Stop laughing. It's ruining the bit.
That would not otherwise appear in your pages. Centrists, conservatives, and others who would not naturally think of the Times as their home. Is this a joke? So throughout this letter, it's obvious Bari Weiss views left, right, center, or politics in general. She views it as a reflection of Congress, as opposed to looking at objective reality. So
stop doing your commentary. You're ruining the bit. David, read and don't laugh.
You may think some of what she says makes sense, because how many pro-Trumpers are there?
No. Read the article. What are you doing? Do I have to read the article? I will.
Yet no. People in the center and conservatives silenced by the paper. Are you joking? This is the...
Dear AG, it is with sadness that I write to tell you that I'm resigning from the New York Times. I joined the paper with gratitude and optimism 3 years ago. I was hired with the goal of bringing in voices that would not otherwise appear on your pages. First-time writers, centrists, conservatives, and others who would not naturally think of their Times as the home. The reason for this effort was clear. The paper's failure to anticipate the outcome of the 2016 election meant that it didn't have a firm grasp of the country that it covers. Dean Beckett and others have admitted to such various occasions the priority and opinion was to help redress the critical shortcoming. I was honored to be part of that effort. Led by James Bennett, I'm proud of my work as a writer and as an editor. Amongst those I helped to bring to our pages the Venezuelan dissident, the Iranian chess champion, Hong Kong Christian Democrat Derek Lam, many others. But a lesson that ought to be followed is the election. Lessons about this important and understanding of other Americans, the necessity of resisting tribalism, and the centrality of the free exchange of ideas to a democratic society have not learned. Instead, a new consensus has emerged in the press and perhaps, especially in this paper. The truth isn't a collective discovery, but an orthodoxy already known to an enlightened few whose job it is to inform everyone else. Twitter is not a masthead for the New York Times, but Twitter has become the ultimate editor. As the ethics and mores of the platform have become those of the paper itself has increasingly become a kind of performative space. Stories are chosen and told in a way to satisfy the narrowest of audiences rather than allow for a curious public to read about the world and then draw their own conclusions. I was always taught that journalists were charged with writing the first draft of history, and now history itself has become one ephemeral thing molded to fit the needs of a predetermined narrative. My own forays into wrongthink have made me the subject of constant bullying by colleagues who disagree with my views. They've called me a Nazi and a racist. I've learned to brush off these comments about how I'm writing about the Jews again. Several colleagues perceived to be friendly with me were badgered by coworkers. My work and my character are openly demeaned on company-wide Slack channels, where the masthead editors regularly weigh in. There, some coworkers insist that I need to be rooted out of this company is to be truly inclusive, while others post axe emojis next to my name. Axe emojis. Still, other New York Times employees publicly swear, smearing me as a liar and a bigot on Twitter. Sorry, cannot laugh. A liar and a bigot on Twitter with no fear that harassing me again with appropriate action. They never are. There are terms for all this. Unlawful discrimination, hostile work environments, constructive discharge. Discharge. I'm no legal expert, but I know that this is wrong. I do not understand how you can be allowing this kind of behavior to go inside your company in full view of the paper's entire staff and public, and I certainly cannot square how you and other Times leaders have stood by while simultaneously praising me in private for my courage. Showing up for work as a centrist in an American newspaper should not require bravery. Part of me wishes I could say that my experience was unique, but the truth is, intellectual curiosity, let alone risk-taking, is now a liability at the Times. Why edit something challenging to our readers or write something bold, only to go through a numbing process or make it ideologically kosher, when we can assure ourselves of job security and clicks by publishing 4,000th op-eds arguing that Donald Trump is a unique danger to the country and to the world, and so self-censorship has become the norm? What rules that remain at the Times are applied with extreme selectivity? The person's ideology is in keeping with the new orthodoxy they and the work remain unscrutinized. Everyone else lives in fear of digital thunderdome, online venom, excused so long as it is directed at the proper targets. Op-eds would have easily been published 2 years ago. Would now an editor or writer get in serious trouble if not fired? If a piece is perceived as likely to inspire backlash internally on social media, and the editor or writer avoids pitching it in, if she feels strongly enough to suggest it, she is quickly steered to safer ground, and if every now and then she succeeds in getting a piece published and does not explicitly promote progressive causes, it happens only after every line is carefully massaged, negotiated, and caveated. Massaged? Did she write that? She did. Wow. This writing, I came into this just to mock it, and I am. It's unbelievably laughable. This is incredible, but the writing is good. I have never seen so much privilege be so majesty. So majestic. It's absolute poetry. Alpha's makeup in history. But there's still none appended to Cheryl Strayed fawning interview where writer Alice Walker, a proud anti-Semite who believes the lizard Illuminati. Oh my, the lizard Illuminati. Tell me more. Teach me. The paper of record is more and more the record of those living in a distant galaxy, one whose concerns are profoundly removed from the lives of most people. This is a galaxy in which, to choose just a few recent examples, the Soviet space program is lauded for its diversity, the doxing of teenagers in the name of justice is condoned, and the worst caste system in human history includes the United States alongside Nazi Germany. Even now, I am confident that most people at the Times do not hold these views, yet they were cowarded by those who do. Why? Perhaps it is because they believe the ultimate goal is righteous. Perhaps because they believe that they will be granted protection if they nod along. As the coin of our realm, language is degraded in service to an ever-shifting laundry list of fight causes. Perhaps there are millions of unemployed people in this country, and they feel lucky to have a job in contracting industry. Perhaps it is because they know that nowadays, standing up for principle, the paper does not win plaudits. It puts a target on your back. Too wise to post on Slack, they write to me privately about the new McCarthyism and that it's taken root at the paper of record. All this bodes ill. I can no longer do the work they brought me here to do. The work that Adolf Oakes describes in that famous 1896 statement, to make of the columns of the New York Times a forum for the consideration of all questions of public importance, and to that end to invite intelligent discussion from all shades of opinion. Locke's idea is one of the best I've ever encountered, and I've always confronted myself with the notion that the best ideas win out. But ideas cannot win on their own. They need a voice. They need a hearing. Above all, they need to be backed by people willing to live by them. Sincerely, Adolf Hitler. I'm sorry, I could resist. It took so long. It was such a goddamn long letter. Bye, Bari Weiss. We'll miss you like the tastiest spice. Bye, Bari Weiss. Oh, you're 5,000 candles in the wind.
To our monarch, Thomas Bone, you are the light that guides our path. To our lords, I'm Rab, Stephen, Ninetails Cosmic Fox, and Hans Josephine, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byth, Alexander Thaler, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Schutzkopf, Skybear Games, Moss Beast, Political Puppy, Alan R., Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, that's solid poon then, we salute you. And to all our merchants and farmers, you have our undying loyalty and love.